There are 3 huge things that every Genshin player is going to need to think about now that Nod Krai is out, because Genshin decided to give us a lot of valuable things for our accounts. But we need to make sure that we do not waste them. Gotchas can be very confusing with all the different currencies and making the right or wrong decision, okay? So I am here to help you hopefully make the right decision for your account and to not be disappointed, because I want you guys to have fun. So the 3 important things that we need to talk about in this video are as follows. The free standard banner character selector is back, so which standard banner character should you choose? Next is the free Constellation that we can get through the Temper Thyself event coming out in Nod Krai. I am going to go through all 25 characters, rating their early constellations even to their late for which ones you guys should focus on. And then finally, and potentially the most contentious and important one to some of you guys, the ability to get your characters to level 100. First, we're going to talk about the Master of Stella Fortuna, all right? Because this is going to have implications for every single chapter of the entire video. We are now able to get our characters to 95 and then level 100 if and only if we get a Master of Stella Fortuna, which you get 1 if you get a character above C6. If you get that C7 Chi-Chi, you're getting the 25 Masterless Star Glitter, but you are also getting a Masterless Stella Fortuna. So very obviously, we have now entered whale territory, okay? To get one of these Stella Fortunas, you have to get a character above C6. Most players are not going to get a single one of these. Maybe a few of us out there are going to get a few who are not whales. Like myself, I'm getting like 3. But I will say this, the damage buff that your character gets from level 95 to 100 is not absolutely game breaking, okay? If you are an attack scaling character, you are getting like a 4% damage boost from 95 and like a 9% damage boost at level 100. That's just how the damage formula goes. So luckily it's not game breaking, but I will say transformative reactions directly scale with your character's level. Those are things like Hyper Bloom, Burgeon, and Bloom. The character's level makes the damage go up by a lot, but we need to wait and see until Nod Krai has been out for us to test just how big this buff is, okay? So we need to wait and see. But even if the transformative reaction buff is pretty sizable at level 100, I am still going to say this to you right now. Favorites are everything. Your favorite character is what the game is all about. The character that you play as all the time, your favorite, the one you're gonna have FOMO not having at level 100, is the one that you should, especially if you're only going to have a few. All right, I am not going to stop you. If you are the ultra meta player who just wants your Kuki, Raiden, Shogun, whoever's causing Hyper Blooms to be level 100, go off. I'm not going to stop you. But for the average player who is not getting very many of these, I don't think you should sweat it crazy hard, and you should probably just level 100 your favorite. This is why I needed to talk about level 100 though, is because of the standard banner character selector coming back. If one of these characters is new to your account and you've always wanted them, please select them, okay? But if you've been playing a while, you have C6 Jean or C6 Kaching, you can pick them on this selector and get yourself one of those Masterless Stella Fortunas to get a character to 95 or maybe even to 100, because you need 3 of them to get to level 100. This is something that you are going to need to think about during this video. What you want on your account. Do you want a Constellation for one of these 5 stars? Do you want a new one, or do you want the Masterless Stella Fortuna? Do not forget, it is an option to you if you have a C6. This is a way to grab one for free, and it's pretty wise if you are able to. So here we go, guys. Here is my standard banner character selector list. Tainari is an actual good DPS. No, he's no Malwika. He's not like the most cracked character out there, but dude actually goes off. He's fun to play. I recently learned how to play him. He's very good, especially at like a higher constellation. If you can get him to C6 or whatever, he's a great character to pick up, especially if you're a beginner. He's a great DPS. Jean, Mona, and Dia I have in the some use. Dia is an okay support for burning characters, something like Kanich or Mualani, and then can be okay with Nuvalet, you know, to protect him and stuff, but she's pretty okay. I probably don't recommend picking her. Mona has some use now with Skirk specifically, but yet again, she's not really the best. And then Jean. Look, Jean has a full party heal, which is amazing for Farina, and she applies Viridescent Venom, one of the best artifact sets in the game, so she's solid. Diluc and Kaching, they're just raw DPSs. They've seen better days. All the other DPSs are better than them, but I mean, if you love them, I'm not gonna stop you. And then Chi-Chi. But now let's talk about the free constellation that you can get every 12 weeks through the Temper Thyself event. These are the 25 different characters that you can choose. You can see that the standard banner characters are on there as well. So yet again, you can think about that Masterless Stella Fortuna. But anyway, let's talk about these early constellations. So for my normal Genshin Impact players out there who have a lot of characters at C0, let's talk about the C1s. Hu Tao's C1, it makes her charge attack not cost stamina anymore. It's fantastic. It makes her way more fun to play. It ups her damage potential skill up a little bit, but I mean, the most important thing is you're going to have so much more fun playing Hu Tao, and I love Hu Tao. If you're a Hu Tao player, definitely grab this, okay? Shenhe and Xiao, they have the same Constellation 1 effectively. It gives their skill a second charge, but it is a little bit better for Shenhe because she can put up both different kinds of quill buffs, the hold and the tap of her skill to do the normal attack and the elemental skill and burst. And it gives her twice the amount of energy, which she desperately needs. Xiao is also very energy hungry, so the, Constellation helps him for that. So it's pretty darn good. And then Nilou's Constellation 1 increases the ring, the hydro ring around her's duration by like 8 seconds, I think, which is quite good. It makes it so she applies more hydro, so you get more blooms and you do more damage. That's what she wants to do. And then Wanderer, he pretty much gets a pretty sizable damage buff. He gets the attack speed, all that good stuff. If you're a Wanderer player, C1 is not a bad option at all. Now for the all right C1s, I will let you guys know that this specific tier list I'm showing you right now is ordered in my opinion. So I think Yae Miko has one of the better C1s, but all it really does is give her more energy when she uses her burst. And I mean, that's okay, but sometimes Yae Miko's burst isn't exactly worth using depending on her teammates. Baizu gets another skill charge, which is, more healing, more energy. It's great, but like he just as a character doesn't super need it. Okay, Eula, she gets like more physical damage. That's cool. Not anything insane. Ganyu lowers cryo res a little bit. It's all right. Ito gets more of his stacks, after he uses his burst and stuff. That's pretty sweet. And then Sino and everybody below, they just get like a slight damage increase. It's really nothing crazy, but I will talk about Mona's C1 though, because it's been updated to buff lunar charge damage by quite a little bit. If you see yourself using Mona with Anefa or even Flynn's coming up, then it might be worth it to pick up for you, but it's pretty all right. And then unfortunately, these C1s are pretty darn not great. Ayaka's, it just doesn't proc enough to make a difference. Kokomi's, the only thing that I can see is that it applies a little tiny tick of hydro for a bloom team, whatever. Child, you can just play Child better, that this Constellation doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna be honest, Albedo, Yoimiya, they're not great. I do not recommend picking up these C1s. And that final square you see right there is me asking you guys to subscribe. I don't ask a lot in the middle of these videos, but dudes, I put a lot of effort into every single video I make, and I'd love it if you guys subscribed. It would make a big difference in my heart. But don't think we are done just yet, because a lot of us have more than C0 on our characters. Maybe we have that C1 and we want to get that C2. Maybe we love a character so much that we're willing to grab that C1 to get us closer to the C2, 3, or 4. And I respect you guys out there. I don't know if I recommend you guys, go that far and get baited into going for the C2, 3, or 4 because of this one free constellation, but I want to help you, because you want to go out there and have fun and with your favorite character. So I'm just going to help you out, okay? It's up to you. You're the one who's going to click the button, not me. So this is my C2 guide, because a lot of these characters have a massive C2 in my opinion. Let's start with Nilou, okay? It lowers the hydro res and dendro res of the enemies by 35%. For Nilou, it is absolutely massive for her teams. This constellation rules if you are a Nilou Bloom fan and you want to get that C2, it's fantastic. Ayaka's C2 gives her the 2 little bonus, swirlies on her burst, and if the enemy is really big, it is a big damage increase. Now, I have Klee on here. Klee is, not the best character ever, but I will say her Constellation 2 is extremely good, and it is the reason why you see her occasionally on like speedrun clips. She comes in, you drop her skill, and if it touches an enemy, they get big defense shred, okay? Shredding defense is one of the most valuable things you can get in Genshin Impact. So little characters in the game shred defense, and that is why it makes Klee into a actual viable character to have on a team. Does it make her top tier? No, but if you do really like Klee and you want to play her, her C2 is actually quite good. Now, Wanderer's C2 makes it so his burst does a lot more damage. It makes it worth clicking in his rotation. So if you're a Wanderer player, you want to use him to the maximum, his C2 is pretty darn good. Baizu's C2, however, applies Dendro completely off field. You don't have to do anything. You just have to attack the enemy with your other teammates. So for these reaction-based teams, these Hyper Bloom teams, you want blooms, you want all this kind of stuff, it's a pretty sick constellation. Baizu's already a pretty good character as it is, and his C2 makes him that much better. And then finally, Yae Miko, okay, it makes her turrets do more damage. They start at level 2, they can go up to level 4, which is a big damage increase, and then it increases their range by even more. It just makes playing Yae Miko feel that much better. And if you're a big Yamiko fan, it's a pretty good con. There's not too much to say about the next row because if you're willing to drop $1,000 on a freaking character, they better be pretty good. All right, so every character in the second row is a pretty decent character at C6. I will say though that Jean in specifics, it's kind of her C4 that makes her really good and worthwhile. It is a huge animo res shred to enemies. That is a evergreen, awesome constellation to have for every animo character that comes out in the future, maybe Varka, or maybe someone 3 years from now. They are going to appreciate animo res shred if they are a DPS and want to do damage. It's just that simple. It's a pretty good con. Unfortunately for my homie Yoimiya, her constellations just aren't really that good. Yeah, her C2 is okay. Her C4 is okay. It's just not super worth picking. And then Child is a good character. Don't let this rating make you think he's a bad character. He's actually quite good. It's just his constellations actually aren't that good. He's pretty much a good character at C0, which is kind of unbelievable. And then Dia, she can be a DPS at C6. She gets crit rate and crit damage, and she gets some energy from her C4, which is cool. But I mean, dudes, she's Dia at the end of the day. She's not that great. And then guys, I don't get any joy from doing this, but I would never lead you astray. I am a Kokomi lover, appreciator. C6 haver? Yeah, she's not moving. We love you, Kokomi, but no. And we don't need to talk about Albedo. But with these tier lists done, this is my last reminder to you. If you have one of these characters, Constellation 6, I have Kokomi Constellation 6, I could choose her to get, again, one of those Masterless Stellar Fortunas, okay? If you want a character at level 95 or level 100, it may be worth it to grab one of these. If one of these constellations, C1, C2, you don't want to pull any further, don't interest you, you might as well try to snag one of those Stella Fortunas. Gamers, that is going to do it, okay? There's a lot of information going around for Nod Krai, and I wanted to throw my hat in the ring. I play way too much of this game, and I am passionate about making sure that you guys do not waste your resources and have fun, because video games are about fun, baby. Let's have some fun. You know what else is fun? Subscribing to the channel, okay? It makes a big difference. And like I said, it's so much fun. So much fun. The stream's really fun. Come follow my stream. And huge shout outs to the patrons who support the channel. You guys are absolute goats, okay? Nod Krai is gonna be lit. I'm gonna be popping off. And I will see you guys at the stream, okay? Peace.